Breakfast with KXVU.
Trickstar Radio.
All right, then, we are live on Trickstar Radio. This is Breakfast with KXVU, and we have some very, very special guests in the building as part of the From the Office series, part of a project where we're bringing people down to the station who are obviously involved in different shows that are going on during the night time in Brighton over the weekends. So we do have Afriquoi in the building. How are we doing, guys? Are we good?
Yes, good.
It's good
Thanks for having us.
It's good to have you in. Obviously, this isn't your first time in Brighton. The last time you there was an Afriquoi set in Brighton. I did actually go down to it. It was for Trickstar, I believe, was the last time.
That's
it was.
right, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it was one of the funnest nights I had of the year, without a shadow of a doubt. And it was a very enjoyable night for me. It was as well because I really like the Trickstar nights. Like, how did you find playing in Brighton the first time you were down?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I actually find all the people down in Brighton similar to the vibe in Bristol, because everyone's just up to party, and like we come out to do our show, and as long as we know that you're ready to party, we know we're going to have a good time, because that's what we've come to do. So we always look forward to it.
Good stuff. I mean, I think when you're kind of doing the live shows and like getting the live energy, something I did want to kind of touch on is the fact that there is just so much live energy at Afriquoi shows, whether it be a more sort of DJ style set or whether it be like the full band setup. I was going to say I'm quite happy we have got like a kind of stripped back set of people in the room. I don't think we'd have been able to fit everyone in this tiny room, but it's good, man. Like, so we're here to talk about new music that you've got on the way. We're here to kind of talk about tonight's show. Obviously, we're recording this on the Saturday night. I think it's Saturday. I think it's just about Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the show tonight. So what is actually going down tonight?
Wow.
It's the big show.
What's going down tonight is we're here as usual. We're here to give 100% and plus, because this is our sound and this is what we love doing. And as Espo just says, Brighton is a very vibrant place. It's just like London in a very small place. You got it there. So it's like people want to party, and this is what we want to do. We want to play for party people.
I think that's a good way of putting it. I think there's no way of denying that Brighton is very much a party town.
Yeah.
You can look at it historically. You can look at it like in the last couple of years. Yeah. It's just a party place to be. So I want to kind of do an over-encompassing question. Obviously, there will be listeners who haven't necessarily heard the Afriquoi sound before. What is the Afriquoi sound?
Afriquoi is basically Afro electro. This is a meeting point where the Eurocentrics and the Afrocentrics meet in the middle, because we are not ripping, we're creating, and it's not about taking parts from no. We're creating stuff there and there. So what you hear in our sound is what we create in the studio. We play it live. So that's for me, because for me and for most of the members, or I can say all the members of the band, we share the same kind of thing, which is the sound needs to be original.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely feel that. You mentioned obviously all of the band members. Like, who have we got in the building specifically today? And how many band members are there? Because as I was saying earlier, I definitely think we'd have had a bit of a struggle, a tight squeeze getting everyone in this room. So how many people are involved firstly, and who have we got in the room?
In the studio tonight we have myself, Jalika Wasuso,
and Andre Espo.
And then outside you have Andre Mamau, you have Nico Bentley, you have Papa Fiston Lusambo, and you have Ole Cole. So Nico Bentley is the guy on synths and keys, and also produce lots of the old material, which is so Collaba, and then you have Andre Mau is the percussionist and also one of the co-founders of the group. And then Papa Fiston Lusambo as well is the guitarist of the group, and we call it Papa for a reason.
Well, I want to know the reason. What is the reason?
The reason is
you can't say that. Don't ask for it back.
You have 3 decades in this band. Basically, the age range from 3 decades.
Wow.
You understand? So Papa is the eldest, so that's why we call him Papa. So
I see.
Yes.
So that must be quite. It must really add to the experience of when you're building music together. If you've got like musical inspirations coming from 3 different generations, like, do you feel all different areas get represented, like all different time periods?
Definitely.
Because Afriquoi is a rebirth of new African listeners or the European Afro listeners, but the difference is we took it to the clubs. So the music has no more race. It's now a meeting in the middle. So it's like, if you're from Europe, you relate to it. If you're from Africa, you relate to it. For me, that's always been my dream, because I don't live in Africa. I live in Europe now. So, and I was born in Africa. Likewise, Espo's roots come from the Caribbean. We have Andre Mama or Nico Bentley, Ole Cole, who are born English guys. So you have this, and that's why London is the melting pot. And when Afriquoi is the new thing, is what we want to show people. This is what music, because music is always there to break the boundaries and put people together.
100%. I want to jump into this new single. Obviously, it has been the previous week's Trickstar Radio Track of the Week. It's really cool to get you guys down for it specifically. It's one we've definitely been kind of vibing out to. We've been getting some really cool opinions from when we have guests on. Obviously, we tend to have them on in the second hour, and that's when the Track of the Week plays. So what we tend to get is, obviously, when the guests come in, they'll come in and have a bit of a conversation about the tune in the middle of the interview, and everyone's loving it. I mean,
fantastic.
There's so much colour, there's so much vibrancy. We're going to get into it now, and then we're going to get into a bit of a discussion about how it came together. Don't go anywhere. We are live on Trickstar Radio. This is Breakfast with Kovu, and we do have Afriquoi in the building. Oh yes. Right then, we are back on Trickstar Radio. This is Breakfast with Kovu. We have some very special guests in the office this morning. Afriquoi are here, and this is a very enjoyable one for me. That one is our Track of the Week from last week, and as I said, every guest we've had in has really enjoyed it. Everyone's been getting into the vibe of it, and it's something I want to kind of discuss here, because it is such like a heavily layered track. There's so many different elements going on in it. There's so many different like party flavors inside the track, and as you said, it's definitely got the vibe where it's kind of come from all these different influences, and then it's been taken to a club sort of setting. I want to know how you create something like that in a studio space.
Well, we've been playing a lot of tracks, for years, like from the Kalaro album, and when we play them live, they're completely different to the recording. So sometimes people go, "Oh, that's not what we heard there," and they like the live version a lot, because we're bringing our own ideas, our own individual musicality to the tracks, and again, sort of bringing this party vibe around. So we wanted to create something that was like that, but original. And because we do a lot of different things, like we do workshops and things like that, in schools and things, and we travel and tour, so we tend to write as we go around, so we pick up a lot of influences there. And I think this one started when we were staying in a cottage after one of our workshops. Is that right, Jelly?
Yeah, after the show of...
or even before?
The thing starts from the cottage, but it's you remember, it's the same week that that acid attack happened in the club in London before our show.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so that put that idea in our head. So we know that acid attack is that's obviously quite a harsh statement out there in society, but we like to make that particular title reflect on other things, because you can have an acid attack in terms of a conversation with someone, and be very acidic rather than be, more neutral. But some people say things because they want a particularly bad reaction.
To have something have a bit of a sting.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So there's lots of different ways you can access it. So we didn't actually mention throwing acid on.
Yeah, cool.
It actually means something. It's deeper than that. But Jali will tell you a bit more.
So because it's if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it's telling you, it's not good to be rude. It's not good to be ill, to have ill thoughts, because if you can look your fellow human being and do that kind of things, for me, that's so outrageous, and it's so despicable that there is nothing that I can relate to than you are rude, you are bad, you're feisty, and you have no regards for your fellow human being, because it's so it's so disturbing. It's so but the message you have to send. We feel like we have to send a message to. It happens in a party. When you're sending a message, you have to send it to the party so that the party can understand, because the party is full of so much positive people, but there is few negative people that needs to be stick with words, so they can always recheck themselves when they're coming in. People, they need to come correct.
That's right.
Okay.
And some people might not like that word, to be afraid to say acid attack. And to be honest, when we first started, I was like, whoa, are we really going to go there? But sometimes you can use words to desensitize them and make people actually think about other things. We didn't do it deliberately to be provocative. It just happened that because we had to play in this venue after Acid Attack, we kind of showed them some solidarity, didn't we? Because we could have cancelled that show, but we kind of made our statement like, we're going to be positive and give a good vibe to that place and let people just come together and keep that business going.
It's a very good way of looking at what is obviously a very negative thing, and it is as you said, it's a very disturbing thing that is like happening. And I think it is it's the most positive way you can look at something, is to kind of take that and then build something good from it.
We are all youths. We all go out to party. It could have happened to you. It could have happened to me. It could have happened to him. So it's like we're here to speak for the voiceless. We're here to talk for people who cannot talk. The music is to enlighten people, is to teach people, is to show people. So our music is not only for us to dance and for us to just say things that are not relevant. Things that are relevant, for me as an artist and for it's like there is no justification to certain kind of things. If people do certain things, then we will talk about it, because we're sitting here for the mass, and we will not sit on messages or color code messages when they are coming out the way they are coming, because the only way you can also send a message sometimes is to just go very blatant so that people can understand, this is it,
That's right.
But if you hear acid attack, you're like, it's acid attack. Yeah, that's the word. It is acid attack, because it happens. And how do we, as human beings, as society, how do we work to take that out of the society if we don't talk about it?
100%. Right, I mean, I'm kind of blown. Obviously, listening to the track, when you do kind of listen to something like this, you do kind of get caught up in the party atmosphere of the tune. And then, obviously, the more you talk about it, the more it kind of makes sense, a lot of the things that you're saying within the tracks. And it is actually amazing to sit down and talk about stuff like this in this sort of scenario, because it does, as you say, the best place to kind of hit people with this kind of things that they need to hear is in the party. Because that's when people are most likely to be able to take things in a lot of the time.
It's true. And also, it shows that sometimes you want to go deeper into stuff. Like, you can listen to something and know that it sounds nice, but then if you follow the artist and look and try and see what's behind it, then the next person who listens to this for the second time, they'll have a different experience of this song.
100%. We're going to jump into another one next, because we're a little bit short of time. I've just caught you just before the show's in there, so I don't want to keep you for too long. This one, I do apologise if my reading out of the title is a bit incorrect. So from what I can see here, it's Ningde Judah. Is that correct? Jubei. There we go. That's what you see. I can't distinguish between the D and the B.
Look at this.
Cool. Right, we're going to jump into this one next. Don't go anywhere. We're live inside with Afriquoi right about now. This has been an amazing chat so far. At Trickstar BTN, at Cub KXVU. What is the best social media app for people to get at you on?
Instagram,
Facebook.
And what's the tag?
So Afriquoi.
Just Afriquoi?
Afriquoi.
And that's what I like to hear. Don't go anywhere, we're live on breakfast. All right, then we are back. This is Trickstar Radio for the last bit of conversation we're going to have with Afriquoi today. First of all, just to clarify on the socials, how do you spell Afriquoi? Because I actually spelled it wrong the first time myself. So let's spell it correctly.
So it's AFRIQUOI. So it's Afri and then French, Quoi, Afriquoi, which was a pet name for the continent made by the
Andre Mamao.
Cool.
That name come from Andre Mamao.
Afriquoi.
Nice. The more you think about it as well, the more it does kind of make sense that there's all these elements being thrown into there underneath, like the sort of you don't know where it's going to go.
But we always we're trying to think how you think. We're trying to think how my people think back in Africa. So because music is evolving, things have changed, and how do we represent everybody in the place? That because London is a melting pot. You have Africa, India, Asia, Europe, South America. You have Europe. So how do we satisfy that audience, my brother? Is we have to dig, and we're still digging, bro. I think we are still digging, and we because yes, the EP is ready. The album is coming. This is what I was getting.
What's on the way? Tell me what's on the way.
Yeah. So our EP will drop soon.
2020.
2020. You get the EP. Because people have been waiting for stuff. Yes. So this is Afriquoi is coming. We are coming, and from the EP, expect the album not long. So it's like we just we want the people, we want our audience to carry on the vibe and the momentum, and then know that, yo, if you don't know about us, check us, because we are coming for you. And 2020, we are not playing. No, we are not joking. My brother.
Right, this has been an amazing chat. Again, I don't want to keep you for too long because I know you've got to rush back to the venue. Afriquoi, thank you very, very much. We'll speak to you soon. And I'm looking forward to hearing the new music. Don't go anywhere. We are live on Trickstar Radio. This has been Breakfast with Kovu. So far, plenty more on the way.
Waking up Brighton.
Breakfast with Kovu.